Orgasmic enlightenment, where the sexual and spiritual come together. I'm Kim Anami, and I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach and a vaginal weightlifter. In this show, we explore all things intimate. I believe that our sexual energy is life force, creative energy, and we can use it to shape our worlds, strengthen our relationships, and self-actualize. I blend the most avant-garde information from neuroscience, ancient sexual practices like Tantra and Taoism, to renegade wellness modalities to show you how to create gourmet sex in your lives. Come one, come all. Why you come too fast and how to fix it. We debated titling this episode 7 Reasons You Are a Premature Ejaculator. But we thought some guys might think that fucking their woman for only 5 minutes and then coming might not qualify as premature ejaculation. Maybe they rationalized that they were chumps. So let's define it in Anami Land. Premature ejaculation is coming in less than an hour. PE exists on a spectrum. Let's see where you fall on it. So we're going from the lower end of the spectrum to the higher end. At the lower end, we start out with Jizzy McJizz Jazz, which is someone who comes before you've even taken off your pants. Then we move to the next level, which would be 3 minutes of penetration. And this happens to be 75% of men. Preemie of the creamy. This is grounds for dumping your ass. Then we move up to an illustrious 5 minutes, which is 95% of men. Not even fucking close. Still dump. Then we go up to 15 minutes. A woman would still be massively underfucked in this range. 30 to 45 minutes. Close, but no cigar. And here we have the line that divides the boys from the men, or being a sexual retard versus a supercock savant. 60 minutes. This is someone who has absolute control, heroic, but still bare minimum in Anami Land. Then we get into the 3 hours plus territory. Marry me. Premature ejaculation is the most common sexual affliction among men, and stamina is the most important skill you need to cultivate as a man. Looking at these stats, 95% of men come within 5 minutes, and then we're probably up in the 99.99999% of men below the threshold of being a sexual fucking retard. So this means that 99.999% of women are underfucked. In Anami Land, like I said, we consider anything below an hour to be leaving the chat before anything good happens. And then in Anami Land, the bare minimum is being able to go a full hour in any position, doing any activity, and stay the course. That ass could be all up in the air, and you've got this. She could be giving you the most savage, deep-throating blowjob of all time, and you've got this. She could be making the craziest whimpering noises and looking at you like you are the fuck messiah, and guess what? You've got this. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of you having unshakable, unbreakable, able to withstand anything stamina. This becomes the crucial symbolic measure of your capacity as a man. Your job as a man, as the masculine, is to provide the steady container for all of her feminine wildness to flourish within. When she's emotional, you hold your ground. When she's sexy and seductive as fuck and giving you a hand job with her Anami-trained vagina, you hold your ground. You know that idea that women are always testing men? It's 100% right. They are. They are pushing you to see how well you stand up under pressure. Do you falter with the slightest provocation? And that includes your erection. Does it falter with the slightest provocation? Do you? Or can you handle all of it? She's testing to see if it's safe for her to let go with you. She needs to know that you are strong enough and you can create a container that holds everything she has to give you. Her heart, her orgasms, her vulnerability, all of it. Can you take it like a man? When she is in the throes of total surrender, deep orgasm, fully open, walls down, epic levels of vulnerability, are you going to be able to keep the pace with her? Or will you bail, as in will you come too quickly and leave her sexually and emotionally stranded? She needs to know. So, yeah, there are tests. What you do with them deems how much she's able to open, let go, and truly, madly, deeply surrender to you. Or how underfucked, miserable, and bitter she becomes. So, if you are a man who is not capable of going a solid hour under any and all conditions, listen up. I'm going to give it to you straight. This ought to be your number one priority in the sexual realm. And even for your overall value as a man to rectify this and do it fast. Not do it fast, but change it fast. With Kim the Cock Whisperer's tried and true techniques. So why would a man be the kind of man who consistently blows his load too fast? Reason you're a wanker, number one, you develop some bad habits. You went through puberty with furtive masturbation sessions, trying to rush to the finish line before anyone could come in and interrupt you. Your brain and your cock are wired to think this is how we do it. It's not. Reason you're a wanker, number two, you've been programmed by television and movie sex. Everyone on TV has sex for 20 seconds or less. He usually comes in under 10 seconds, and she appears to really, really enjoy that. I'm telling you, she does not. She might even look like she came as well. She didn't. For the sake of fitting an entire sexual encounter into a movie or TV show, we get to see a very concentrated version. It's inaccurate, but it imprints upon us by seeing these 20-second sessions over and over and over that somehow this is normal. Nah. Reason you're a wanker, number three, you are scared of intimacy. Guys who come too fast are terrified of going deeper, so they bail before they can even get close to that terrain. The longer you make love with your partner, especially when you are deeply connected, the more intimate, intense, and confronting it is. You can't hide. You see deep inside them. They see deep inside you. If you aren't ready for that, if you fear it, if you love, fear it, are fascinated by it all at the same time, you'll hit eject. Your awareness of this might be very below the surface, but it is a self and relationship sabotaging mechanism that will prevent you from going deep. Ever. Reason you're a wanker, number four, you are lazy. You gotta work, bitch. You better work, bitch. Yeah, it takes effort to change this pattern. However, I have seen men shift it in 2 to 3 days with my techniques. I've seen other men where it takes them several weeks. The rate of change is a measure of a man's true commitment. You have to wonder, why wouldn't someone do this if it's so easy to do? All the reasons here are subconscious fears. And especially this next one. Reason you're a wanker, number five, you're into violence against women. Seemingly passive-aggressively, but I would say this is actually quite aggressive. For men who are repeat offenders, and when I say this, I think of something Samantha said in Sex and the City. Fuck me badly once, shame on you. Fuck me badly twice, shame on me. When we were talking about this topic, one of my staff made the parallel of PE equals DV. Premature ejaculation equals domestic violence. And as I thought about this, I fully agree. I think this is brilliant and not an ounce too harsh. The kinds of rationalizations domestic abusers, guys who beat up women, make are identical to what men will say when they come too quickly. If you weren't so sexy, I could last longer. You're so hot, I just couldn't help myself. This is fucking manipulation. So a woman ought to be less sexy, less beautiful, less hot, less desirable. Shouldn't a man, a real man, rise up to meet her and be grateful as fuck someone that hot deigns to fuck him? The entrenched power dynamic and insinuation is that the woman ought to shrink and be less so that he continues to be much, much less. That's abuse. There's so many parallels that it's shocking. Premature ejaculation, like DV, happens behind closed doors in secrecy, fueling sexual shame. Just like guys who beat women, they aren't out there bragging about it. At least not generally in most segments of society. Premature ejaculation ignores a woman's boundaries. It erodes her sense of self. If a guy is coming too quickly, her own needs are 100% neglected. She will be chronically underfucked and have all the symptoms that go with it, in addition to a particular kind of resentment and frustration that leads to her belittling, humiliating, like attacking him, if she's not just beaten into the ground from this kind of situation. At the very least, she will be grumpy, naggy, irritable. She may lash out, and that will be further justification for beating her / not fucking her well enough. And then the man wonders why she avoids sex with him. She will find any excuse, cleaning the kitty litter, picking lint off towels, anything but to get brutally and very badly fucked by him. And I don't blame her one bit. Premature ejaculation isolates a woman from her prime support network, also known as her sexual desires, her vagina, and her orgasms. It's non-consensual. A woman doesn't agree to get fucked and dumped in. Of course, if she keeps fucking him, then I guess she does. PE is an abuse of power. It is gaslighting to the highest degree by placing the blame on the woman. Like I said earlier, she's just too sexy. I couldn't help myself. It's sexual deprivation. It breaks trust. It leaves the woman feeling used, objectified, like this semen receptacle, depository, like just throwaway. It's theft. It robs a woman of her confidence, joy, connection, pleasure, and eventually her libido itself. If a guy won't change this about himself, I was serious what I said earlier. I totally encourage a woman to leave him. That is how grave an abuse I consider this to be. And it's all the more heinous because it's totally fixable and fast if the man wants to. Which shows that if he continues to perpetuate this abuse, then he's actually enjoying it on some perverse level. Maybe it's revenge on all the women who ever allowed their son's baby dicks to get cut off, like revenge on his mother in some way. Essentially, we'll get to that reason in a moment, but I would say that PE is a hate crime against women. You heard it here first. Reason you're a wanker, number 6, because, they cut your dick off. Circumcision trauma hurt you bad. I have definitely seen a pattern in circumcised men and premature ejaculation. I'm not saying that every one of them is, or that all intact men are not, but in my personal and professional observations, this is a theme, and it makes sense. Man has intense torture trauma, literal torture trauma, often at birth or shortly after. He has no way to process this, and so the whole experience gets sublimated. Not only can he not process it, but he's gaslit and told that this was good for him. He now has this inner conflict of having sustained massive pain in the most sensitive part of his body that is also, paradoxically, the source of the most pleasure. What happens in the sex act? This unconscious conflict arises and he just bails out of the game. Think about it. You have been ritually tortured. This stuff does not just go away. It erupts in all sorts of weird and seemingly unrelated ways. Just like a woman with a history of unhealed sexual abuse will often see that she manifests all kinds of different symptoms, from difficult periods to endometriosis to fertility issues. And most poignantly, she'll have some condition that doctors have cluelessly named vagina on lockdown, where her vagina is literally clamped shut in a protest against penetration until deeper level healing is done. And then magically, the vagina is open to being entered. Circumcised men can absolutely 100% work on this to cultivate supercock stamina and conscious cock awareness. Whether you do direct circumcision healing or commit to building stamina and retraining your brain and cock, all of the above, I would advise, you can get there. And these are all things that I teach in my Sexual Mastery for Men salon. Reason you're a wanker, number 7, you don't really like chicks and you're secretly a gay. All right, nothing I can do here, just go fuck some dudes then. So, like I said, this can be remedied fast. I'd say much of the problem comes out of the fact that 3 to 5 minute encounters are so normalized. Because they're normalized, women think that they don't really like penetration that much anyway. Then you combine that with a bunch of sexually inexperienced and underfucked so-called sex experts mistakenly saying that the clitoris is the only thing that matters anyway. So you have several different narratives writing off the importance of vaginal sex and, of course, vaginal orgasms. And the cycle perpetuates. Men don't bother building stamina because they think their women don't really like sex anyway, and women remain chronically underfucked because they don't like the kind of sex they're being offered. The main point I want to make here, again, is that PE is completely 100% in your control to change. I've come across men, a lot of men, who seem to think that their ability to last in bed has nothing to do with them and is in the domain of what I like to call the cum fairy. This chick flies in and she waves her magic wand at your magic wand and suddenly she just makes it spew. No, bitch, this is all you. I've taken men from being perpetual, lifelong, 5-minute fuckers to being able to last an hour, which is the Anami gold standard bare minimum. So, how do you do it? How do you go from being a 2-pump chump to a legendary supercock? Number 1, you got to want it. The longer you go for, the more intense your orgasm will be. The longer you go for, the more intense her orgasm will be. So what's the downside? Nothing. But you may need to confront some of the issues or all of the issues that I've mentioned. At least intellectually, you need to consider them all. As for somatic in-the-body healing, like I said, we cover all of this in my Sexual Mastery for Men Supercock Generating Factory. And the rest of it, your body will take care of. Meaning, the longer you have sex for, and as you learn to harvest and recirculate your sexual energy, it will heal you. It is the most powerful regenerative energy that you have access to, literally at your fingertips. Once you learn how to be conscious of it and how to move it around, mobilize it, recirculate it in your body. All things I teach in Sexual Mastery for Men. Second thing that you have to do is commit, motherfucker. Dive in and don't turn back. Some men, like I've said, switch this around in days. For some, it will take weeks. I guarantee it is 100% doable for every man. This is not some random affliction outside of your control. It is entirely and only in your control. So control it. Step 3, breathe. Just breathe. That's it. That's all you have to do. Most men hold their breath the closer to orgasm they get, or they breathe really shallow. This is the main culprit for your orgasm escaping you in the moment. So, solution, breathe deeply. Aim for a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. If you can do that for even longer, great. Ideally, all the way through your sexual encounter, and especially when you are close to your edge. And let's define your edge by being the 7 to 10 zone, right? Which would be like an arbitrary average edge area for men. This is where you're close to orgasm, but not yet in danger of going over the edge. And this, right at that edge of 7, is where you need to slow down and become super aware. You make sure that you're doing this deep, steady breathing. You stop thrusting, you stop moving, she stops moving. If you're practicing solo, then you stop all stimulation. Breathe deeply into your belly and into your pelvis. 4-count inhale, 4-count exhale. Do 3 rounds of inhales and exhales. Let your arousal subside to a 5 or a 6, and then build it up again. Do at least 3 rounds of this where you get to your edge, and then you pause, you stop moving, and you breathe. You can either come after that or keep going for as many rounds as you want and then come, or choose not to come. And this leads into another conversation about orgasm without ejaculation, which would be an advanced version of this practice. You can check out what our Well-Fucked All-Stars have to say about this in these 2 episodes. All men can orgasm without ejaculation. It's the Anami Guarantee. Season 4, episode 28, and semen retention, what's all the fuss? Season 6, episode 25. Step number 4 is to relax. Okay, there is one more thing to do, or rather not to do, which is you need to relax. Most men clench their legs, they clench their buttocks as they get close to orgasm. Some men will contract their entire bodies, legs, butts, arms, faces, like they're going into spasm. No. You have to open and relax and let go. I know this might seem counterintuitive. You might think that clenching and holding on is going to stop things. It's not. It's actually going to exacerbate them. So you relax. You relax everything, every part of your body, including any contraction at your pelvis that you might be subconsciously holding on, thinking that that will stop things. The opposite happens. Relax and breathe. These are the basics in a nutshell. I go into all of it in much more depth in my Sexual Mastery for Men salon, including the holy grail for men, which is learning how to orgasm without ejaculation. This is the ideal because then you have ultimate supercock stamina. You're having multiple orgasms and you can keep going. I also show you how to channel your sexual energy as a procreative force into every part of your body and your life, where it then becomes the ultimate amplifier of everything that you do. A man in control is a man we can trust. In cock, we trust. At least in conscious cock, we trust. My Sexual Mastery for Men salon opens September 2nd. This is my 8-week Supercock training for men in all things love, masculinity, and sexual superiority. You will learn how to build epic stamina and separate orgasm from ejaculation, cock exercises to lengthen, strengthen, and grow cock organically, deeper healing modalities to release trauma, including circumcision healing and foreskin restoration, which, like I said, I recommend for every man, detoxing from porn, learning how to channel your sexual energy as a creative power, increasing your vitality, confidence, and cash flow, pelvic weightlifting. I go through a full routine. Orgasmopedia, your very in-depth guide to female orgasms, especially the deeper vaginal ones, including G-spot, squirting, and cervical, and all about embodying your masculine expression in the world, how to man up in today's hostile to masculine energy climate. Go to kimanami.com/stamina to check it out and get on the waitlist to be notified of when we open registration. And on that same page, you can also sign up for my free masterclass on how to grow cock organically, because yes, you can. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and send somebody else the gift of a multi-orgasmic and transformational love life by sharing this episode with them. If you'd like to go deeper into all things orgasms, sign up for my free Orgasmopedia series, where you'll learn about 9 different types of orgasms everyone can have. Go to kimanami.com and you'll see the sign up there. Come one, come all.